Hey everyone, welcome to Creating with Jazzy Bundles. It is so great to see you guys again. I hope everyone has had a good last week and is getting through their week this week well. Who do we have here so far? So, I'm going to show you a couple of cards. This one is one that you'll notice that, hi Amanda, that we did not send out a video on Monday. Not a full-length video. We did a couple of shorts, but not a full-length video on Monday. Hi, Brenda. It's great to see you again. We're going to start doing videos on Fridays, just our Fun Fold series on Fridays, and then our lives on Wednesdays moving forward. So this week's Friday card is a flip-flap gatefold card. And it opens like this, and then it's got a message on the inside. This one says, I get butterflies just thinking of you. And it said fluttering by to say on the front. So check out our video on Friday when it comes out at 10 a.m. And then the card we're going to make today is a double accordion gatefold card. So it fits into an envelope just like all of our A2 cards. And it opens like this, and it's got a spot here for a message, a spot on the other side for a message, a spot on the inside here, and it even opens up and you can sign and write something personal on the inside if you want to. But this is the card that we're going to make today, and yeah, I'm excited. Has everybody had a good week so far? Hopefully the answer is yes. So for your card today, what you're going to need is some cardstock and some patterned paper. So I'm going to use this white as my card base. And then I have another color of cardstock here that I'm going to use. You'll see it's actually the blue here that layers on top of the gray. My card is gray. And then you can do this with one piece of pattern paper if you want to. If you have a 12 by 12 piece of pattern paper and you cut it so that it's 5.5 by 11, you can use basically that whole thing and fill up your card and it'll be done. I would like to, like I did this one, how I alternated some of the patterns. I'm going to do the same thing with this one here. So that's why I've got 3 different pieces of pattern paper. It would also work really well if you had double-sided paper because they would coordinate together, and then you would just use that one strip and you can have a whole card out of it. But that's not what we're doing today. All right. The other things that I am using, I'm using this stamp set. I have no idea where I got it from. It just says enjoy every moment because today is about you. I'm going to use the enjoy every moment part of it. And then I am using these steel dies that I got from Emily Moore Designs, and I'm using the one that looks like a label. But her stuff here, this set is amazing. I use it very frequently in my cards. So if you are looking for new dies to be able to get, Emily Moore Designs, I highly recommend her. I got all my moth designs from her too, if you saw those cards over the last couple of weeks. And then I have some Waffle Flowers Essential Sentiments that I'm going to use. I think I'm going to use the Love You Always. and I know for sure I'm going to use this. This one came from Peddler's Den. And it says, don't let anyone dull your sparkle. And then it's got some little sparkle designs here too on the side. So I know for sure I'm using this one. And we'll see about the other ones and how it all fits together when I get there. All right, so with that, let's go ahead and get started. So I'm going to cut my paper. And bring this over here. Okay. And I'm going to cut it down to 5.5 so that I've got my 5.5 strip. And I'm going to do the same thing with these two pattern papers. Ooh, that's squeaky and loud. Sorry. And that way I'm starting from the same amount for all three of them. All right. Okay, now that those are trimmed down, we're going to cut our card base. So, which means I need this back. Sorry, it's gonna be loud one more time. I know, I do too. I fell in love with the paper. The pad came from Michael's. It's called Stone Pierre. And it has actually lots of different pieces that are, that has the gold running through it. Like this one here, you can see. And this one. I fell in love with it, so I knew I was getting this pad of paper as soon as I saw it. All right. We're going to take the piece of cardstock that is going to be our base, and we are going to cut it at the 3-inch mark, or excuse me, the 3-inch mark. Sorry. Right? 8.5. Yes. Pooch. Okay, yes, the 3-inch mark. And that should leave us with 5.5. Yes, it does. Okay, so now I can get rid of this. And we're going to score our paper. We're going to start with the big one. And we're going to score it at the 1.5-inch mark. And then we're going to score it again at the 3.5-inch mark. And if you had a 12-inch scored board, you would then score it at the 7.5 and 9.5-inch mark. Sorry, I am choking on something. But I'm going to turn mine around and cheat and do the 1.5-inch mark again. And 3.5-inch mark. Nope, we're not done with that yet. But first, we have to trim a little bit off, just a little. 3/8 of an inch is all we're trimming off of our smaller piece here. So get this to the 3.5 or 3/8 of an inch mark between the 1/4 and the 1/2 mark. And I've just changed my blade. Good. It cut nicely. All right. Now we're going to score this piece. This piece gets scored at the 2 1/8 inch mark, which is the little dot if you have the eighth score buddy. And then the 4.5 inch mark. And then if you were to keep going, it'd be the 6 3/8 mark and the 8.5 inch mark, but I'm just going to turn mine around and score it at the 2 1/8 and 4.5. Something doesn't look right about that. Hold on just a second. I feel like, oh, I can just judge by mine. Yeah, I don't think it's the 4.5 inch mark. I think that would have been something else. Let's see, 1.25. It should have been 1.25. Or 4.25, excuse me. So the 2 1/8 and 4.25. Because 2 1/8 by 2 1/8 is 4.25. Alright, that's alright. It'll get covered up. Okay, that is all the scoring that we need to do. And I'll write all these scoring lines down for you in the description when we're done, so that you have it all. All right, let's go ahead and fold our card. We'll start with the big one. We're gonna score or fold from the second line in first. And get that nice and straight. And then we're going to go backwards for the other one, the one that is on the outside. And then we'll do the other side. Right. I think I've got some random ink on my thing here because it picked up on my card, but it's on the back side. Nobody will ever see it. All right, so there's our gatefold card. It's a slightly different gatefold card than the ones that we've done in the past. We haven't had this part that folded back. I have another trick that I've seen people do that I'll do a video on next week, where you can make something that slides between the slit here, and it holds it all in place for you, so that you don't have to use a belly band. But that's next week. All right, we're going to go back and forth. So folding from the second line in. All right. And fold backwards. And then on the other side. And fold backwards. All right. Now you'll see that it folds up nicely inside of itself, which is important for the card. So now we need to cut our patterned paper. which I'm going to do with my much smaller and hopefully less noisy one here. So we're going to use or need one piece that is 3 3/4 of an inch. Then we need a piece that is, excuse me, 2 pieces that are 1 1/4 inch. All right. And then I have my papers here. I'm going to use this one on the inside. So I need 2 pieces or 4 pieces that are 1 3/4 of an inch. Now, if you were just doing this all out of one patterned piece of paper, you would have 2 of these that are 1 3/4 of an inch. And then the last piece you would cut in half, and it would give you 2 pieces that are 1 1/8 of an inch. But since I am using different papers anyways, and I've got the extra paper, I am going to cut 4 of these. All right. Now, out of this, I'm going to cut 5 pieces that are 2 3/4 of an inch by 1 7/8 of an inch. So 1 7/8 of an inch is here. 1, 2. I think this one's too small. Yep. Two 3/4 of an inch. 1 7/8. And one more that is 2 3/4 by 1 7/8. The rest of this paper we'll just set off to the side. All right, and one last paper to cut. This is going to be my white pieces. So for this, I'm going to cut one piece that is 2 5/8 of an inch. By 1 3/4 of an inch. And one that is 5 1/2 by 2. And one that is, oh, I actually didn't need that. We'll cut this one down. 5 1/4. If you're going to use, this is for the 5 1/2 by 2 inch one, so that you can cut whatever type of sentiment that you want for the front, which I already have mine cut out somewhere. It's in the right here. So I don't need another one cut out. So this one is just going to be 5 1/4 by 1 3/4. All right. And we're going to score one more piece. That's this long one here. We're going to score it in half at the 2 5/8 mark. 2 5/8. Set that off to the side. Okay. It is now time to start gluing all of the pieces together for our card. So we'll start with the base. That is, let's see, which way do I want this to go? I think this way. All right. Get my glue ready. Almost time to refill my glue. This is not cut correctly. I think I need to cut off. I need to cut off a 1/4 inch. Oh yeah. Yep. All right. Now that I've got glue all over my paper trimmer, add some more glue back to this. All right. Now we'll glue this down here, right in the middle. See, do we like it like this or this? I don't know yet. We'll figure it out. All right, now I need these 2 pieces next, which are also cut to a 1/4 inch too long. And I'm betting these are as well. And then this piece and this piece. So it should have been 5 1/4 for all these pieces. Oop, don't throw away my pen. Like I said, I'll put it down in the description after the video publishes so that you guys have it correctly and don't have to do all the extra trimming like I'm doing. So if there is, I meant to ask you guys if there's any type of card that you've seen or that you're interested in learning how to make it, just let me know. You can drop me a message on this video if you want in the comments, or you can come and hang out with us in our Facebook group and let me know there. But I would love to know what you guys would like to learn next. All right. And our last two pieces of paper. So when we fold this in, you can see, we can see a little bit of this outside here. So this last two pieces of paper go in there. So time to glue that down. So what type of crafts have everybody been up to? Amanda, how is your glass stuff coming along? Brenda, have you made any cards lately? All right. Now we are going to fold this little piece in half. All right. And I'm going to glue my pieces onto this before I glue it to the card, because then it's going to get a little difficult to stamp and glue once it's on there. So for the card I'm making now, I'm using the same green paper in all 5 of these slots, but in the one that I did as my demo here, you can kind of see I did some embossing. I ran it through an embossing folder, so it's got some texture for the every other one that is not stamped. So you can do it any way you want to. I would love to see your cards if you make this card. So come on and hang out with us in the Facebook group and show us your beautiful cards. Yeah, I knew as soon when I saw this card, I knew exactly what paper I wanted to use, which is this marble, sparkly, pretty paper. I knew I wanted to use that. All right. Now it's time to do some stamping and figure out what I want to do here. So I'm nearly positive this fits on here. Yes, it does. Okay, so that will be that one. And then You know what, actually? I think I am going to yep, we're going to put a fairy here instead. All right. Which means I need to use this one so that it sticks to it. I think I'm going to actually change, instead of using this gray paper, I'm going to use white. So give me just a second. I'm going to cut a couple of pieces of white. So I need one that is, let's see, 5 1/4 by 2 5/8. That's the one I already have. 5 1/4 and 1 3/4. And then 5 1/2 by 2 inches. All right. Oh, no, I did it again. I did it again. 2 5/8 by 1 3/4. I think I need to put my measurements in a different order. It's definitely confusing me. And I don't want it to confuse you when you guys go to make the card. Okay. This is 1 3/4 by 5 1/4. And then fold this in half. No problem. It'll post immediately after we're done with this. So you'll be able to watch it again, Brenda. 2 5/8. All right. Now I've got white paper. Today my husband managed to come home before I started my live, so we don't have the interruption of the dogs today. But yeah. So I'm going to put this fairy here. Back here, I think I'm going to, I have 2 fairies actually. I could use this other fairy. Maybe. There we go. All right. Will she fit on here? She will. All right. We're going to stamp these before it goes on there, though, just in case. All right. Don't need that one. Just need this one. Excellent. All right, there's that one. And then these red rubber ones I need to use a sticky mat for. So that they stay. I just don't have it on a, I don't think I have it on a smaller one. No, I do not. So we're going to do our best with this big one. Okay. I'm going to unfold it. There we go. All right, there's that one. Put my stamp up there. Perfect. All right, and I've got these little sparkles here that I'm going to use. Use them under the word sparkle. We'll put some up here. And we'll put some up here. Perfect. All right. It's time to glue these last pieces in. So it would be just my luck that it would smear. Of course, I've got it all over my fingers. All right. If you don't have a stamp chamois, you should get one. They work really well to clean off your stamps and to help ink get off of your fingers. I have one from Lawn Fawn that I have had for forever, and I absolutely love it. It's just getting washed, so that's why I've got this pink one out. But yes, I highly recommend a stamp chamois. All right. This one goes in the middle. Excellent. It's all dry. All right. This one goes over here off to the side. All right. Before we glue down this one, we're going to glue the smaller accordion into the bigger accordion. Now, you want to glue the middle part first, and do that by folding this up. just like we had it at the beginning where the right side tucks into the left side. So again, it's open, tuck your right side in, and then close the left side. Then we're going to put some adhesive to the back of this. And glue it somewhere towards the middle as best as you can. Now we're going to glue the right side. So the way I do this is close this side, and this is where I'm going to put my glue. So you're not going to put glue over this entire rectangle because it will glue shut and you won't be able to open it. You just want it to be on the outside part here. So we're going to open this up. I'm just going to put some glue towards the end here. Glue that. And then we're going to do the same thing on the other side. Close that, close this. Put a little bit of glue towards the outside. Glue that. Now your card will fold the same way as the middle piece did. So it's right side first, then left side. And now we have our sentiment for the outside to glue down here. Now, if yours hangs over like mine does, see how the sentiment label part hangs over? Be careful not to put any glue on the outside of this because this piece here is actually the one underneath and it'll glue your card shut. You don't want to do that. So, all right. So we're going to put some glue here in the middle. Close up our card. I like this card. I might have to keep it for myself. Might have to. All right. And there we go. Put my pin back in my glue before I forget. There is our double accordion gatefold card. All ready to go out the door, and it will fit into an envelope. Because there are so many layers to this and we folded it so many times, it may require an extra stamp. So just remember, think of that when you go to send it to somebody. But if you're just going to hand it to somebody, you know, it'll fit into an envelope just fine to hand out. So that's that. If you didn't see it earlier, the video that we have coming out on Friday is a flip flap gatefold card, and it's this card right here. It opens up with sentiment on the inside here. So this will be the card that comes out in the video on Friday. So I hope you guys had a really great time tonight. I did. I love chatting with you guys and crafting with you. And if you make the card, post it in our Facebook group because I would love to see your version of this card. There's so many beautiful papers out there and you guys have your own beautiful imagination. I would just love to see it. So with that being said, thank you for stopping by, and I look forward to seeing you next time, next Wednesday at 7 Eastern. I'll be here. You guys have a great day.